Hello, boys and girls. It is time for another reaction. I hope you're having a good day today. And who is this sent in by? This is sent in by Chug. And I believe I've recognized that name, Chug. And he says, love that you're enjoying QI, King Boomer. And thanks for doing my previous suggestions. You're welcome. If you send in a suggestion and it ends up on the channel, it means I liked it for the most part. So... a few more for you if you have... few more for you if any of them take your fancy. Okay. So, we're here. And Chug has sent in several, but I'm going to do one. And of course, it's the one that has caught my attention here. This is Myths and Monsters of QI. So, that's a very interesting... subject, to say the least. Quite interesting. Sorry. Every time I do that, I feel like I have to correct it to quite. And if I don't, then you guys remind me. So, best of Myths and Monsters from QI. There's even a QI channel here if you want to check it out on your own. But most of you guys have probably seen all these episodes already. But Chug, thank you for sending it in. Remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And here we go. Myths and Monsters. This should be good.
The Pope Lick Monster, Alan Davis.
The Pope Lick Monster?
So, can anybody tell me anything about the Pope Lick Monster?
Well, I deny everything for a start. And the Pope started it. No.
It is part man, part goat, part sheep, and it supposedly lives...
Part Catholic?
Part Catholic. Supposedly lives beneath a railway bridge over Pope Lick Creek in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh.
It lures people to their death by hypnosis. Come with me.
Of course,
Yes,
it's
I have
Kentucky.
cake. Come this way.
Is that how you get your ladies?
Now, what can you see here? Have a look. What's that?
It's not what you think it is. It's
not the Loch Ness Monster.
It's a hoax.
Yeah, it's a forgery.
It's a
I'm sorry, it's
very
a forgery.
famous hoax.
Do you know why the forgery was made?
Yes, I
Carrying
do,
the
because I
prize.
read a
Was
bloody
there a
book
prize?
about
Oh, he said hoax. I'm sorry. Well, accent miscommunication there with my brain. My brain had a mishap on that one.
It's not the Loch Ness Monster.
It's a hoax.
Yeah, it's a forgery.
It's a
I'm sorry, it's
very
a forgery.
famous hoax.
Do you know why the forgery was made?
Yes, I
Carrying
do,
the
because I
prize.
read a
Was
bloody
there a
book
prize?
about
There
the
must have been a
Loch Ness
cash
Monster.
prize for getting the
It
people.
wasn't that, actually. It was revenge, oddly enough. It was a journalist. I'll give you his name. Marmaduke Weatherall.
Marmaduke Weatherall.
Yes.
Yes, of course. He was... shut up, I know something. Yes, Marmaduke Weatherall was he was a big game hunter. And he was there was a competition. One of the pit... Shut your face! There was years and years I've waited. I know about Marmaduke Weatherall. And years. And I remember at the time I thought...
Years and years I've waited. Dude, this guy's funny. I totally get his anger, though, when you know something, you just can't remember, like, one or two things about a story, and it bugs the crap out of you. It happens to me all the time. Probably you guys probably seen it happen to me all the time on this channel, especially when it comes with names. Like I remember faces very well, but names I'm terrible with, as you guys know.
Thought that's gonna. There was years and years I've waited. I know about Marmaduke Weatherall, and years. And I remember at the time I thought that's gonna come in handy sometime, and then I thought probably not, but turns out it is. There was a competition by one of the newspapers to prove that the Loch Ness Monster existed.
Yes.
So Marmaduke Weatherall cut the legs off a hippo, and he made fake footprints with the severed hippo legs, and then presumably he got found out. And then if you say no, I'll punch you in the face.
No, you're really close.
And then,
You're really close. The point is, he wanted the prize. He was fooled by the artificial hippo footprints.
Oh, you say from
and
the
he
Earth.
went to the Daily Mail and said, I found these footprints, here they are. And the Daily Mail published them. The Natural History Museum saw them and said, this is a fake, these are hippo footprints. And he was fired by the Daily Mail. And he was so angry that he then put together this hoax with someone else whose name was Christian Sperling. And many people believed that to be Nessie. Here's a monster that someone made earlier, but what is it? And what's it made from?
Mermaid?
Is it carved? Is it made from bone?
It's a type of mermaid that was very popular in the 19th century. It's called a Fiji mermaid. Ooh. People come from miles to see it. It was shown off at carnivals, and it was made from fish and household bits and pieces. For a long time, people thought it was made by the addition of a monkey's head with a fish. And this particular one was acquired by the Wellcome collection in 1919, and then later by the fabulous Horniman Museum. Do you know the Horniman?
Yeah, I live near there.
Don't you?
In Forest Hill, it's
South London,
brilliant. Yeah.
It is an incredible place. A genuine museum of curiosities of the most fascinating kind.
Yes, I've been there too. It's great.
It is good. It's a fine
Just
place.
saying that because I said I've been there.
I go every week.
When you said you went to the aquarium, I didn't jump on it. Like, oh yeah, I've been. And then you have your time in the sun.
Time in the sun.
That's a crazy looking thing. Hold on, I want to see this.
Every week.
When you said you went to the aquarium, I didn't jump on it. Like, oh yeah, I've been. And then you have your time in the sun.
I mean, look at that thing. That thing looks terrifying. Terrifying.
Time in the sun.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Now look. You see now.
So were they supposed to be scary creatures?
It is quite scary, and you picture
Yeah.
it scampering in your bedroom or something, and it's quite...
They were a lot sexier once they added the hair and the shell bras.
Yeah, exactly. But you'd be pleased to know that this is a result of the CT scans, which were made by the Horniman Museum for us. And Dr.
Sorry, I didn't
James
hear
Moffat.
that.
But you'd be pleased to know that this is a result of the CT scans,
Okay.
which were made by the Horniman Museum for us. And Dr. James Moffat of St George's University in London translated the CT scan data.
Sorry. I gotta hear that name one more time. Did he say...
CT scans, which were made by the Horniman Museum for us. And Dr. James Moffat.
Dr. James Muffet. It's like a cross between Muff and Muppet. Sorry. Sorry, I'm such a child. Anyway.
Of St George's University in London translated the CT scan data into this 3D printing of the original. So this is a 3D printing. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that.
Very good.
And you can see how detailed it is. Even the little holes and flaws in the
Have you been to
fish
St
tail.
George's Hospital? It's really excellent.
I'm not going to play this game.
I genuinely jumped.
You've seen them at Dartmoor, haven't you, Widdicombe?
What are your monsters called?
We've got, on Dartmoor,
Yeah.
we've got the hairy hand. Are you aware of the hairy hand? Which is a...
You get it when you're about 15.
the hairy hand is a disembodied hand that would appear from nowhere if you're driving along the B3021. And it would steer you off the road. But there's just...
Officer.
Yeah.
And it smelt of cider, didn't it?
It dropped its point on me, and then it drove me off the road.
One of the people that claimed he'd been steered off the road by the hairy hand, he described it as invisible.
Oh, bless him for trying.
Oh, man.
What colour was Frankenstein?
What color was Frankenstein? That's a good question. You always, like, want to believe he's, like, this, like, grayish green color, you know? Wow, I've never fucking thought of that. Man. And that's one of the rare, like, monster novels that I've read. Although it's been a long time. But I really liked Frankenstein when I read that. What color is he? Watch him be tan. Watch him have a suntan.
Yes.
Green.
Gray?
Frankenstein was a baron in a novel who was a scientist who made a monster.
Yes, I know. And the monster's name?
The monster's name.
The monster's actual name in the book. He does have a name.
Go on, tell us.
Adam, yeah.
Adam, of course he's called Adam, because he's like the first man he's made. So, yes, what colour, obviously, was Frankenstein's monster?
Oh,
Yep.
green. But, no, purple.
Well, I was going to say it's sort of grey colour, but that's because I only ever saw him in black and white.
No.
I don't really know what
She didn't write a black and white book, except in the sense the print was black and the paper was white, but she used coloured words, and she did describe Mary Shelley, who wrote the novel, of course. It's in 1818.
Jaundice yellow. Lovely.
Yellow is the answer. His yellow skin scarcely covered the work of muscles and arteries beneath.
Oh.
His hair was of a lustrous black and flowing, his teeth of a pearly whiteness.
When she says it's scarcely covered, does she mean there were gaps?
Yeah, because he was like a dead body had been brought back to
Bits
life.
of-
Now, where's the best...
That makes me want to read that again. Because, what was I watching for the Good Critic, Bad Critic channel? Oh, Van Helsing. Because they combined, like, Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula into, like, one goofy action-adventure movie. But, yeah. It made me... Because I realized, like, of those three, the only one that I had read was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So... But it's been like 20 years since I read it, so I got to go back and read that because I remember it being very, very good.
Place to look flowing, his teeth of a pearly whiteness.
When she says it's scarcely covered, does she mean there were gaps?
Yeah, because he was like a dead body had been brought back to
Bits
life.
of-
Now, where's the best place to look for the abominable snowman? I think this is an area of your expertise.
You're looking on your left. I'll start it all off for the lads. Yes. Of course, you're looking at one. The thing is called Sasquatch Bigfoot in Canada, and in Russia it's called the Almas giant, or the Yeti, Sukpa, or Metama. Then in China they have their own hairy men, and it's Sukpa, Metama out there as well, Yeti. And then in Sumatra it's called Orang Pendek, or upright man, not meaning an orangutan. There is no doubt at all that Yetis obviously do exist. There are great parts of the world that we don't know about. I mean, when I was in Mongolia, the Mongols are telling me that frequently in the late autumn that you get migrations of dozens and dozens and dozens of Almas giants. And they see them in the distance. So I want to go out there one day and go to northern Mongolia and just go, and then I think that might scare them off.
Brilliant.
Dude, that guy's amazing. Brian Blessed is amazing.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Brilliant. So there are some who are disbelievers, unlike you, but you are a believer.
Yes, I completely believe, because all the different people I meet and different trackers I meet, I think... I mean, you have to remember that the large mountain gorilla was only discovered about 90 years ago.
Yes.
It's a giant mountain gorilla, you know, in Rwanda. And so there are so many... We're discovering them all the time. There's so much to discover. So I don't think we've scratched the surface yet.
And there are indeed centres for the study of them, one in Siberia and one in the Bhutanese area.
Bhutan has a Yeti park. Yes, that's right.
It's a hell of a thought. Well, that is a brilliant answer and completely correct, of course.
Josh, last year, you told us all about the hairy hands of Dartmoor.
Yes.
Is that right? They grab the steering wheel of your car and drive you off the road.
Yeah.
Perfect person to ask about this, judging from the last clip.
I wonder if you could just remind us which road you said it was.
The B3021?
Yes. This is, I can promise you, one of the finest quibbles that QI has ever received. There is a gentleman called Ian Dunn who has written in to point out that the hairy hands of Dartmoor actually haunt the B3212 and not the B3021. You are...
Hey, there's Matt Lucas.
I'm afraid you are having points docked this time.
Posthumously.
Yes. It couldn't be more wrong. The B3212 runs across Dartmoor between Exeter and Yelverton via the hamlet of Post Bridge. That's where the Hairy Hands hang out. The B3021, I'm afraid, goes from Old Windsor to Datchet in Berkshire.
Remember that next time you make a joke.
Yeah.
Can I just say that he watched me talk about these ghost hands that appear and drive you off the road, and his quibble was with the number of the road?
You didn't just let Ian down or the show down, you've let yourself down, haven't you?
In many ways, I think I've let Jesus down.
And his hairy hand.
Oh, man. Myths and Monsters. That was pretty cool. That's, Again, these QI reactions, I'm loving these. They're so awesome. And now there's one recommended that I'd want to watch again, dude. I have to spread these out. This particular one that you're watching right now, I recorded probably a month and a half ago. Maybe possibly even more, 2 months ago. Because I've watched so many in the past week that I'm like, man, I can't just do all QI reactions on the channel. I'm going to spread these out. But I can't resist whenever I get one thrown at me because they're just so good. They're so good. This and What I Lie To are probably my two favorite panel shows that I react to. Although there's probably other ones out there that you guys, I just probably haven't gotten around to yet. That's the beauty of, you know, these UK-centric reactions. Like I still feel like it's like a massive goldmine of comedy and entertainment that I still have barely tapped into. It's amazing. Myths and Monsters, though, that God, I want to read Frankenstein again now. It's been a long time, and I remember it being very good. That's right. His name was Adam in the books. I almost forgot that until he mentioned it. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I'm just thinking about reading Frankenstein again because I remember how great it was. But I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Chug, thank you for sending that in. And remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And I will see you again soon. So take care and stay safe, Boomerites. Peace out.